Why
Well,
not?
I'd like to think that I can help Ski with ideas on what to sing because you mentioned Clementine. Of course, that's a type of orange, and then that was also a Wyatt Earp Doc Holliday movie that I've seen. I don't know, maybe other country and western songs. Charlie Pride just died. I saw him in concert 8 years ago, so Charlie Pride song.
It's a good idea. I don't know if I know any of his though.
Or versions of songs he's done. When I saw him in concert, I said, I'll Fly Away," and that's a gospel standard that he and many others have done. Although that's mainly done at funerals, so take whatever you want about that one. And now for the regularly scheduled material. As usual, I'm finding out that with every experience, there's something to be a storyteller about. And that still is the case with my job, which I don't know if I can call a new job anymore because I've been there over 6 months. But I'm definitely comfortable there by now because I met over the phone with my boss for performance evaluation, and he said, "Yeah, it's great that you're willing to come into the office during a pandemic." And it's like, well, I just like having a job. Is all I can really think of about that. And I'm the type that is fine with not having a lot of people there. So yeah, it's right up my alley, right in my wheelhouse, playing my song, whatever you want to call it. And I haven't said in those exact words yet, but if need be, I will. Yeah, still weird things happening at work. Like there's another male dude, M-A-I-L and M-A-L-E dude, like me there. And I don't know what to think of him. Yeah, he's a temp, but that really has nothing to do with it. Still says some weird things to me, though. A delivery, a lot of boxes came last week, and he said, "I don't know how you're going to handle it." And I said, "It's not my first rodeo. I've handled deliveries before." He said, "It was shit." And it's like, and I said to him right away, "It's not shit. It's supplies that I need." And it's like, I mean, I'm not critical of the way he does his work, so I don't get that one at all. And I made a passing reference to my boss about it. He said, "Well, I may have to meet with his manager because he said some unnecessary things like, I need to know about all of your UPS." And it's like, no, I'm not going to tell you about that. I don't have to. You just have to be assertive with people at times, which I guess brings me to the next weird colleague. Somebody that tries to tell me how to do my job. Hello there, at the end of the day. You haven't picked this up yet. Yeah, I was on the phone with my boss, and I know well enough to pick it up eventually. I don't have to have somebody tell me to do it.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
But I've learned to let some things go because, again, it goes back to I just like having a job, and I try not to antagonize people too much because some people are just plain annoying and you can't change them.
No.
And then I guess back to that delivery. I know that if I see somebody trying to get into the building, I will not help them. And that usually means I go to the alternate entrance because sometimes people just wander in from the street, and I work at a bank and they think it's the bank branch entrance, and it isn't. So one morning I was just surprised to see somebody trying to get in. So that is exactly what I did. And then I found out later on, oh, it was the dude with the box delivery. And he claimed that his English wasn't that good. And I told my boss about that. He said, "Yeah, I've dealt with him before. He's lying about his English not being good." And then all the dude kept saying to me was, "When are you going to sign? When are you going to sign? When you bring everything in." I mean, you have to hold up your end of the bargain too. I don't know why he couldn't understand that. But hey, what are you going to do when it's vendors? I get different people every time. Or sometimes they just don't even bother to bring it all the way in. They dump it at the branch, and then somebody tells me, "Hey, pick this up." Okay, I will. Yeah, the
I can
joys of
imagine
being back
that.
at work. Much rather complain about the work I have than the work I don't have.
True
I
though.
try to pay attention and learn wherever I'm at, and that includes even when I'm at the gas station, because of course, my guess is that they have TV screens on when you're filling up in hopes that you stay there for a while, because it shuts off when you shut off the gas pump. But I learned something this time. It wasn't just a chatter that they had on the screen. It was a car life hack that probably helped some people, and I actually checked and it was correct. They said that most cars now tell you what side of the car your gas tank is on with an arrow on your gas gauge inside. And it's like, I checked my car. Yeah, the arrow points the right side. So it's like, cool. I've heard of people having brain farts on forgetting what side of the car their gas tank is on. And it's like, well, I may only do that when it's a rental car because it's not my regular car. But yeah, life hacks are nice.
Yeah.
And I like Walgreen, and they're everywhere. I lose count of how many I see when I'm driving to and from work. It's like 3 or 4, including the one that I go to a block away from my workplace. And I guess this is something that I don't know if I've talked about before, but I probably should have. I get bored hearing the word sorry from people all the time. I heard it at least 3 times when there was a delay on getting me and what I was buying rung up at Walgreens, where somebody couldn't get it logged in as a cashier, and it's like, sorry isn't getting me out the door any quicker. And I didn't hide how I really wanted to get back to work, because I actually grabbed one side of the bag before I let them give it to me. And I know there are times before where I don't know if I was trying to make fun of somebody doing that, but I did. Just the tone of voice I had. Sorry. I guess that's kind of like the moose that Chevy Chase punches in the first Vacation movie. Yeah, sorry doesn't get me into the theme park, and then he decides to hold people hostage, so then they still have a good vacation. It may go back to that and hearing that type of voice tone where it just doesn't work for me. Kind of like laughter doesn't pay the bills, sorry doesn't solve the problem, something like that. I guess I still need to work on that one.
Like it's a cultural concept just of politeness, or to say sorry, just like a cultural thing. Like I feel like that's kind of maybe like it's just like it varies from culture to culture, but I think it's a similar thing that exists. And like in Chinese they have 对不起, which means sorry, and then they say 哦不好意思, which means oh embarrassing, oh sorry, like, and like so they say that. So like when you're bumping into someone in Minnesota, you say oh sorry, like or like yeah sorry, or but then if you play sorry you'd be like sorry, but no, but there's a bunch of different cultures. Culture is fun. Culture just that's just my jazz.
Right. And I know it has made its way into Facebook postings I've seen, maybe because it's been on TV commercials, where there's that TV commercial for Reese's peanut butter. Sorry, not sorry. Because, of course, some people say it and they don't mean it. So, yeah, there's definitely more that I can do about that. I could probably do entire sets about that, which is better than some of the rantings I can do and have done before. I'm still doing the 2-movie weekends because that seems to be the best game plan of how to entertain yourself during a pandemic. Yeah, we might have vaccines, but it'll be a while before everybody gets them. So yeah, I think I'll just continue with my game plan for a while. I guess being the recluse that I am, it works pretty well. I'm just staying at home and watching movies. So why change a good thing if I like doing it?
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all way to deal with it. And it's perfect time to be an introvert.
I was doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Being canceled, it's like, what else can you do? Yeah, I will just continue doing that. Especially with Redbox being nearby. Most every weekend, one of those two has been a Redbox movie, and now I've been switching over to watching some of the movies I've bought and haven't watched in a while. It's like, all right, what do I have to rent to when I've got like at least 100 on DVD? But the two that I watched was Unhinged. I like thrillers, and that one is a thriller. And Russell Crowe is pretty good too. So there you go. And although it's about road rage, so yeah, it can be disturbing at times. But well, I guess they got to do an extreme story if they want to tell a good story in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood, kind of like what I said about a Daniel Day-Lewis movie when they said there will be blood. They didn't lie. There was blood.
Are you a fan of Jeepers Creepers?
Nope, never seen it. I'm not big on horror movies. Horror movies usually aren't classified the same as thrillers. I've noticed that on the way they classify them when they got to display at Redbox.
You may like
movies are fine as horror movies in terms of what I've watched, but I think I just started watching horror movies a little too young in my life, where it's like, nope, shouldn't be watching them when I was 12, but I was at a friend's house, and it was their idea, not mine. And then the other one I saw was Christmas Vacation. I remember seeing it in theaters as a teenager with my dad when he had visitation rights every other weekend. And I know on a survey that Enterprise Rent-A-Car did, they said, what are your Christmas plans? And I said, well, watch a lot of Christmas shows. So it's like, yeah, might as well get started early on it. Yeah, and that movie still works, even though it's a farce. I guess, again, it's kind of that hyperbole thing where you have to be extreme to make a point and sell a movie. And at work, I finally used something that was in the back of my car. It's like, yeah, I've got some of these tools. I kept moving from one car to the next. I'm on my 5th car that I've owned. And there's this socket set that belonged to my late grandfather who died when I was 13. I finally used it again for the first time in years. I had it all taped up. And then I needed to tighten the wheels on a cart at work. And it's like, well, I told my boss, don't come in yet to get a wrench. Maybe I can find one. And it's like, and he didn't have to come in because most people are working from home. So it's like, yay, my late grandfather is probably proud that I finally used that. I never was much of a handyman, but it's like, well, can I figure this out? Yes, I can. So yeah,
yes, you can.
For me on that one, on being a little resourceful. You kind of have to be when there aren't a lot of people with all this no maintenance and a call anyway. So
it'd be like that.
I guess that'll do it for me. Thank you. You've all been great.
Yay!